Mayor Muriel Bowser raises her right hand and takes the oath for the second time as she becomes the first woman re-elected to serve as the mayor of the District of Columbia.
Plus, professional basketball in Congress Heights. We're hitting the courts with district's newest sports team, the Capital City Go-Go.
We have those stories coming up. The news rundown is straight ahead. We Are Washington starts now. Welcome to We Are Washington. Coming up, the new year brings an historic swearing-in ceremony for Mayor Muriel Bowser, who is the first mayor to be re-elected in 16 years and the first woman ever to win a second term as the mayor of the District of Columbia. We'll hear much more about the mayor's vision for her second term as we bring you the swearing-in ceremony and inaugural address.
And later, we'll take you to practice with Capital City Go-Go, DC's new professional basketball team that's bringing hoop dreams to Southeast. All that's coming up, but first, here's a news rundown.
Mayor Muriel Bowser is beginning the new year introducing a host of legislation centered on supporting DC values and announcing key appointments to positions in the DC government. The three bills Mayor Bowser is highlighting include the Sexual Assault Victims' Rights Amendment Act, the Ghost Guns Prohibition Amendment Act stopping the registration of untraceable firearms, and the Second Chance Amendment Act, which will reform the district's record sealing process. Mayor Bowser is asking the DC Council to take action on these measures in the new session.
They're hugely important to public safety in our city. In our view, these pieces are ready to move.
As she begins her second term, Mayor Bowser is also announcing several key appointments, including the State Superintendent of Education, the Chief Technology Officer, and the Director of the Office of Planning. As Democrats take over the House of Representatives, city leaders renew their effort to make the district the 51st state.
The New Columbia Commission, which was established to promote statehood, met at the Wilson Building to review their efforts over the past year and to map out a way forward. Senior advisor to Mayor Muriel Bowser, Beverly Perry, says the idea of statehood is gaining support on Capitol Hill. Construction is underway that will bring more senior affordable housing and retail to Southwest. Mayor Bowser kicked off the second phase of construction on a development at 555 East Street Southwest, which is considered the first mixed age and mixed income building in the district, with 58 units of affordable housing for seniors age 62 and older.
A very happy ending for a longtime DCPS employee who suffered cardiac arrest and collapsed while waiting in line to vote at Barnard Elementary School. Heroic bystanders trained in CPR swung into action, working together to save the life of Charles Gordon. Gordon joined Mayor Bowser to present cardiac arrest save coins to the bystanders and first responders who assisted in saving his life. There's lots to be excited about at Ketchum Elementary School in Ward 8.
Mayor Bowser surprised students and staff with the announcement that their principal, Maisha Riddlespringer, is DCPS Principal of the Year.
So this was definitely a surprise and much needed today. But none of this work that we've done at the school could be possible without the people that I know the mayor and Amanda acknowledged before. So if we could give a round of applause to all of the staff members that work here, students, all of our teachers, administrators, custodians, instructional aides, mental health, behavior team. All of those people are working hard to ensure that every single day we're doing the very best possible job that we can to make sure that you guys are learning, to make sure you guys are happy, to make sure that you guys love and enjoy your school.
Riddlespringer was a little shocked but very happy as the mayor honored her for her outstanding leadership and big gains in English and math by Ketchum students. Students at Garrison Elementary School are enjoying a new playground and field. Mayor Bowser and Ward 2 Council member Jack Evans celebrated the completion of the $8 million community playground and field that together represents the second phase of the $25 million Garrison Elementary modernization project.
For the first time in our city's history, Mayor Muriel Bowser hosted the Diplomatic Corps at the Wilson Building. The inaugural reception is the city's way to say thank you to the diplomatic community, including resident ambassadors, for their contributions to the educational, cultural, and economic life of Washington, D.C. D.C. is home to 177 resident embassies from every corner of the world.
It was a candid and lively conversation at the Southeast Tennis and Learning Center with the 4 authors of the book For Colored Girls Who Have Considered Politics. Minion Moore, Donna Brazil, Yolanda Caraway, and Leah Daughtry came together for a discussion of their book and to encourage young women to enter politics.
All right, busy show today, but we have a couple of more items that we really wanted to discuss here. First, we started the year, as we are beginning to be accustomed to, the Fresh Start 5K.
You know, this is my favorite tradition that I don't actually participate in. I find it really inspiring that people get up early in the morning and get out there. I mean, that's just the perfect way to start off the new year.
Fresh Start 5K is part of the Fit DC initiative for Mayor Muriel Bowser, is asking residents to lead a healthy lifestyle. And, you know, part of talking that walk, I guess, is the Fresh Start 5K, where on New Year's Day, there's a 5K race in the different parts of the city. This year, the Capitol, Riverfront, beautiful scenery, really nice day for this sort of thing. Next item, we had the interfaith prayer service that preceded the swearing-in ceremony and inauguration ceremonies at the convention center this week. This took place at the Mount Vernon Place United Methodist Church, and it gave city leaders an opportunity to take a moment to pray. Different denominations said prayers for Mayor Bowser and her upcoming term. So it was a nice event. One thing I wanted to point to that was interesting from it was the Reverend Dr. Ambassador Susan Johnson Cook introduced Mayor Bowser and gave a shout out to the District Minute. Here's a piece of sound from that.
Before I was a U.S. ambassador, I pastored 3 congregations, and so you have this thing called a DC Minute. So I need to have 8 of those DC Minutes right up in here today.
And it was really nice to hear because we take pride in what we put together and put out for the District Minute each week. So that was nice.
Yeah, how nice is that people, you know, are so appreciative of the work we're doing here and that they're watching, and we hope to keep that up in 2019.
Absolutely. And the last item for today, the 2019 legislation that Mayor Bowser pointed to, just wanted to make a point that, you know, these are very impactful pieces of legislation that the mayor says are, quote, ready to move, meaning that they are already in the legislative pipeline. The council is aware of their existence, and she's asking them to take action on these because this is something that her office has identified as some of the biggest things that can make an impact right away for residents this year.
Yeah, it's great to see right out of the gate. Got a lot to focus on and a lot of work getting done, which means we have our work cut out for us as well. Okay. Well, plenty still to come on We Are Washington. Mayor Bowser's historic swearing in as the first woman to be re-elected as the mayor of the District of Columbia.
And we all know DC is a sports city. Well, we've just added another professional basketball team to that list, and they're calling Ward 8 home. We'll introduce you to the Capital City Go-Go later in the show.
Welcome back. Much has changed in Washington since Mayor Muriel Bowser first took office in 2015.
As she is sworn in for her second term, Mayor Bowser reflected on some of the changes with an emphasis on the DC spirit that will guide her moving forward. Now, here's a look at her swearing in and address.
I, Muriel Elizabeth Bowser,
having been duly re-elected as mayor of the District of Columbia, do solemnly swear that I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Home Rule Act and laws of the District of Columbia. I will perform my duties as mayor of the District of Columbia to the best of my ability, without fear or favor. I will exercise my best judgment and will consider each matter before me
and will consider each matter before me
from the viewpoint of the best interest
from the viewpoint of the best interest
of the District of Columbia
of the District of Columbia
as a whole.
as a whole.
And I will faithfully discharge
And I will faithfully discharge
the duties of mayor.
the duties of mayor,
So help me God.
so help me God. Thank you, Judge.
Congratulations.
I do not view a second term as a chance to warm the seat, but to think and act boldly as we work together to take on our toughest challenges. Each of us swears to represent the District of Columbia as a whole, without fear or favor. When I take that oath and when I administer it, I always say these words very slowly, and here's why. We are only as strong as a city as the ward that struggles the most. You cannot represent the District of Columbia as a whole and not reflect that in your words, actions, and budget decisions. Much of what we have achieved is because we stand on a solid foundation. 23 straight balanced budgets. We eliminated material weaknesses from our audits and got upgraded to a AAA bond rating from Moody's. We welcomed 700,000 residents in February. Not all in February, but we crossed 700,000 in February with a bouncing baby boy named Cooper and a bouncing baby girl named Leah. And in May, we welcomed a first daughter, baby Miranda. We helped over 1,200 seniors with $10 million in investment in Safe at Home and even more in Transport DC. As promised, we budgeted and spent over $100 million out of our Housing Production Trust Fund every single year in my first term. Working with our partners on the council, we focused on putting more money in people's pockets and raised our minimum wage. And by 2020, it will be $15 an hour in the nation's capital. I've been fortunate to serve our city as an advisory neighborhood commissioner, a ward council member, and now as a twice-elected mayor. So today, I say thank you from the bottom of my heart for sticking with us, for trusting us, for pushing us. To everybody who's worked for me in the Ward 4 Council office, and the 30,000+ people who work for DC government, for the Ward 4 residents and DC residents who stuck with all of those green and yellow campaigns, I say thank you. And I also say, we will continue to make you proud. May God continue to bless each of you, and may God bless the District of Columbia.
After the break, Congress Heights is now home to DC's new professional basketball team. We'll bring you inside practice and show you how the team is embracing the local community.
Welcome back to We Are Washington. We're here today at the entertainment and sports venue to check out the city's newest sports franchise, the Capital City Go-Go. And this 18,000 square foot, 4,200 seat arena is definitely the right place for the team to call home. If you love basketball, you're going to love this. We're lucky to be joined by Coach today. Appreciate you having us out to practice. It was a lot of fun to watch. Capital City Go-Go. Now that strikes at the heart of something for DC. You know, DC really cares about go-go music, and you're the Capital City Go-Go. So tell me about, you know, the importance of carrying that name with this new team.
Yeah, you know, I think DC is passionate about obviously go-go music and their sports teams. You know, we just want to embody go-go. You know, you think about a go-go concert, you think about a lot of high energy, you think about a lot of excitement. And that's something that we want to embody, you know. So when folks come out to our games, that's something that they can visualize. You know, coming out to our games and our guys playing really hard, giving out a lot of effort and a lot of excitement.
This is really your first opportunity at being the head coach, this being your team. Tell me about that path for you and what it's like to have that opportunity here in DC now.
Yeah, it's special. It's a humbling experience. Before I got into professional basketball coaching, I was a Division III assistant coach at Randolph-Macon in Ashland, Virginia, not too far down the highway. And Emory and Henry College is a small Division III school in Virginia. So I kind of got my start here on the East Coast, and I got the start in Oklahoma City with Scott Brooks, 5 years ago. So he and I have developed a really good relationship with each other. So being able to come back to the East Coast, being able to reconnect with Coach Brooks, and being able to build something from the ground up is something that's really special to me and something that I don't take lightly.
Fans that show up to the games here, what are they going to see at a G League game? And this is something new for Washington, D.C. So what are they going to experience? What are they getting?
The G League in itself is another platform for players that are looking to get to the NBA, getting some overseas contracts, so it's going to be high-intensity games, very competitive, very raw, and it's even that with the officials. Those officials are still trying to get to the NBA level as well. Same thing with coaches, so it's just everybody putting their best foot forward, a lot of effort, a lot of attention to detail, and everybody really trying to get to, the next level.
People here don't really know much about the G League. They know, okay, NBA overseas. And they should know that, the G League is full of talented basketball players that are, definitely making the next push for their careers.
Break it, there we go.
I'm excited. I feel like we have a really good team and, we got a lot of young guys and I think, things we got off to, we off to an okay start, but I feel like, we're going to make a push at things.
You spent a lot of your career playing in different countries, different cities, but you're originally from the D.C. area. How's it feel to be back home? How's it feel to be back playing with the Capital City Go-Go in this new team?
Feels good to be back, to be a part of something special, a part of history. I never thought in a million years that I'd be playing professionally in Southeast Washington, D.C., so, just to be a part of that, to help start that is a blessing.
While you were all over the world and traveling to different places and playing in different places, what was it that you missed the most?
DC is full of real people, you know what I mean? It's just, you can see at the games, man, people are talking in the crowds and, taunting other players and stuff. I miss that feel, that home feel, and it's good to be a part of that again. It's good to be a part of that.
So great that players will get another chance to get looked at and possibly, further their careers.
Yeah, and that's really what the G League is all about. That's really what this team being in DC is all about, is giving players the chance to develop. And you'll see a lot of players on the Wizards roster who spend time on the Go-Go. So, if you're local to the area and maybe you want to go down to a few games, you might have a chance of seeing a player that you would normally have to go down and get a Wizards ticket for, or go to the Capital One Center for. So, yeah, it's great. And then obviously for the area, the entertainment and sports arena is tremendous. I mean, it's a great venue. And then right across the street, they're right now building affordable housing right across the street. And that they're going to be building up more in that area too. So they're bringing a lot to that neighborhood.
A lot of changes around there, and that court looks beautiful.
It is, yes.
Well, that's all the time we have for this show, but we do have time for one last thing.
All right, I got a question for you. Have you ever seen skills like this?
I have to say, my daughters for a short time played in elementary school. So I think I have,
like
yes.
That. Oh, okay, great. Well, one last thing today, to continue on with the Capital City Go-Go. One of the really cool things about what the team did when they came to Ward 8 before their first season was that they offered an opportunity for open tryouts, meaning anybody.
Wow, how exciting.
Anybody in the district could come out and show off their skills. I mean,
nice.
I don't know how many guys they got that can do this.
Probably
but,
a
couple of guys on the team. But no, they gave that opportunity out, and obviously players who were serious about their basketball career had the chance to showcase their skills and make a name for themselves with the management of the team. So even if they didn't get a roster spot at that point, the whole thing that we were talking about is that ability to develop and work on your career. So down the road, maybe that's a possibility, or at least it gives an avenue, it gives a pipeline for that affiliation so that they have at least a chance. So
always great to have a second shot at it. But for you, I would say don't quit your day job.
Am I out? Am I out?
I'm not sure. Maybe a little more practice. Who knows? Who am I to say?
Okay. Well, that is all the time that we have for today, but we'd like to thank you for watching and encourage you to check out more of our programming. Search Entertain DC on YouTube. You can see a lot of our features that we have. We've done dozens of shows. We have hundreds of features that we'd like you to check out. So be sure to go and search that.
See you next time.